Alright guys, today we'll be reviewing Adirondack Outlaw at the Great Escape. This is an absolutely fantastic flat ride, easily the best flat ride I've ever ridden, and I'll explain why in this review. So this is a fun time Vomitron. There's only this and Catwoman's Whip at Six Flags St. Louis, so there's not many of these, and I suspect this is better than St. Louis's because of the views, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, there's only two of these. There's a bunch of skyscrapers and boosters, which I've done all three models, the Vomitron, Skyscraper, and Booster, and I've got to say this is way better than the Skyscraper and Booster. A lot of people say this one's not quite as intense. I say it's just as intense, and it has a huge advantage over the Skyscrapers and Boosters, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, let's talk about this ride's biggest flaw, which is the capacity. It improves on the Skyscrapers and Boosters, but it's still not great. You've got 8 people at the bottom, 8 people at the top, and the way they run this, at least to Great Escape, is you load the 8 people at the bottom first, and then you go around to a normal cycle, and the cycle's long. It's almost like 10 rotations, I counted, and then you load the other side while the other side is stuck at the top. So, from what I counted with the dispatches, it was about every 3.5 minutes that you load 8 riders, which is that's not very good for a flat ride, a coaster, whatever. You don't want that. I mean, it's worth it, especially since a lot of people are scared by this ride, scared by the line and just the looks of it. So the line doesn't get too crazy. I never waited more than 20 minutes for it. Out of the 3 times I did ride it, this is really the only flat ride where I genuinely want to just go back in line for it, because this is definitely the best ride at Great Escape. I won't keep that a secret. This is easily the best ride here. But yeah, with that all out of the way, let's get into the ride experience. So you board in to your trains, or I guess cars, or whatever they are in this case. You've got normal over-the-shoulder restraints. You get some room with these. They're definitely not too tight. These are very nice. Would it be better with lap bars? Yeah, but I mean, insurance and all that probably played a factor. Just the fact that the GP are scared of this thing as it is with over-the-shoulder restraints. So, it's about the best they could do. So then you're going to start off. You're either going to start going backwards or forwards. And I don't know, it's weird to explain, but I think going forwards on the downswings is a bit weaker than going backwards on the downswings, forwards on the upswings, kind of. Because you do get the wind in your face if you're going forwards on the downswings, but going backwards on them gives you something else. And we're going to start with that experience. So, say you start, you're going backwards, and the first couple rotations, you don't really get too much, but you're going to get a good pop of airtime on like the second rotation going over the top forwards, which is really nice. And this is the big advantage that the Vomitron has over the boosters and skyscrapers is airtime. It is airtime, and it's very good airtime over the top of this. So yeah, the first couple rotations you'll get mild airtime, but then once you start flipping, the first few flips, you kind of do this thing where you rock forward. And the first time you rock forward over the top, it's kind of aggressive. It's not too aggressive. You'll kind of come out of your seat, but you'll definitely feel the speed and all that. But then the second time you rock, so rock forward, rock back gently, and then, oh my God, you just get thrown when you get this full rotation. You get one of the craziest pops of airtime, like, period. And then you're sustained, like, hanging upside down for a long time. It feels like a 0G stall. And then you obviously level out and you're hit with positive Gs. Your legs are numb, at least mine were. And you get a few rotations just like that, and it's incredible. And then you get a couple rotations where it's more about the sustained hang time. The hang time's a bit more sustained, and the hang time's crazy. I mean, you're up that high, and you're actually plummeting towards the ground while you're getting this hang time, so it's really cool. But yeah, the air time is definitely a bit better than the hang time, but it's also really fun. And then you'll slow down, get another pop of air time, and then you'll get stuck at the top. This is intentional. The ride's not broken. Don't worry to all the GP out there. But yeah, this is really cool how you're like stuck at the top for a couple minutes while the other side's loading, because the views from Adirondack Outlaw are so good. Oh my god. It's Adirondack Outlaw for a reason. You get a great view of all the mountains there. And yeah, it's really nice just being up there for a couple minutes and being up there so exposed. Like, when can you ever get that view with pretty much nothing but a little over the shoulder restraint keeping you in? It's actually sick being up there. So then you're going to go backwards again, and this time you're going to be going forwards like during the front swings, and this experience can be reversed. You could start by going forwards during the front swings and backwards second, which, I mean, it's weird. It depends on kind of how you time when you get in line. It's bizarre. It's the same thing either way, though, so don't worry about it. But yeah, you're going to start going backwards, and the sense of speed and the wind in your face is the big advantage going backwards over the top has, because yeah, that wind in your face is crazy. You feel like you're absolutely flying. And then the airtime over the top, I don't feel like it's quite as strong going backwards. It's cool getting backwards airtime, especially if it's really strong, like Pantheons. But I don't know, for some reason, I don't feel like the backwards airtime on this is quite as strong as the forwards. Might have to do with something like the way the seats are rotated. I don't know. But I feel like the hang time's pretty on par with going forwards over the top. And yeah, overall, it's just an amazing experience going backwards over the top as well. And then you'll get lowered back down, get off the ride. I will say they're pretty strict about loose articles like flip flops and all that. You have to put all that to the side. I put my phone to the side, even though I had a Velcro pocket. So yeah, also I probably would have done that anyway, because I don't trust my phone on this thing, that's for sure. But yeah, overall for Adirondack's final score, I'm going to give it a 1,000 out of 1,000. This is the best flat ride I've ever done. Now, that 1,000, again, is comparing to other flat rides. If I was counting it as a coaster, it'd probably be somewhere in the mid 900s, which is still insane. Like, the fact that this thing can compete with coasters in my top 20 is amazing, that a flat ride can do that. This is truly something special. I really hope more of these get built, even though they're lower capacity. I'd love to see them at a ton of smaller parks. So that's my review of Adirondack Outlaw, Great Escape. Let me know what you guys think of this ride down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.